What if every child in Florida was fed? What would that look like? No more children going hungry. Not one. Sounds like a wish, a naive concept. A child's bedtime prayer, never gonna happen. Sounds too big to achieve, right? We are the Pan Florida Challenge, and we will not stop until it's solved. No local kid hungry, not one. This is our creed, our battle cry, our mission. It moves us. Hunger in Florida's children is solvable. It's doable, and we're the ones doing it, here and now.
In our community, we have children who go to bed hungry. It's a solvable problem.
There's a tremendous amount of wealth in Naples and Palm Beach, and in the middle of it, there's a tremendous amount of poverty. And so we founded the Pan Florida Challenge that would do something about that problem.
How many of you in the last few weeks have gone to bed hungry?
At Castleberry School, students whose families are at the poverty level or slightly above qualify for the free lunch program. We talked with some of those kids with their parents' permission.
Who can tell me what it's like to feel hungry?
It's like hard, you can't sleep, you just like wait, you just go to sleep for like 5 minutes and you wake up again and your like stomach hurts and you're thinking, I can't sleep, I'm gonna try and sleep, I'm gonna try and sleep, but you can't because like your stomach's hurting and it's because it doesn't have any food in it.
And it's like a black hole. And sometimes when I don't eat, my stomach, you can hear like it's like growling, you can hear it.
Usually we eat macaroni or we drink water or tea.
My mom will sometimes like make food and then she won't have enough, so at night we'll just eat cereal or something. Other times my parents will fight about money because they don't have enough money to pay the food.
We are thousands already, and we are starting a movement, the Pan Florida Challenge. This is a call for you, and thousands more just like you, to do it with us.
It's a way to reach many, many, many thousands of kids who are hungry in Florida.
I'm going back to where it all began. I'm a straight type and a hot-blooded man. I got 500 miles of open road and I'm driving down the highway to you.
It's a shocker. I had no idea. I mean, 5 miles outside of Naples, these kids don't even know where their next meal's coming from, and I just didn't realize that, and a lot of people don't. So 1 in 4.
I think it's important because it's a way for private citizens to help fulfill a need out there, and we don't have to rely on the government to do it. We can do it more efficiently.
And how does that make you feel, knowing that not only you're having a good time, but you're making a difference in these kids' lives?
Brings tears to my eyes. No, it really does. Why'd you ask me that question? It's the truth. It really chokes me up at the end of the day when you really think about what we're doing and filling those backpacks.
When kids are in school and they're hungry, they're not learning. There's also a considerable amount of research that shows that their brains aren't developing properly and that a tremendous amount of neurological problems can happen. And so if you have someone who's in a challenged situation, but there's somebody who's got great promise, but they're not getting fed properly, they can't realize that promise. And what we're trying to do is to fill that gap where they don't have the challenge of not having food.
I'm tired when I'm hungry. Sometimes I feel really sad because we don't have food for many days. When I'm hungry, I don't have energy to do my homework.
One of the biggest things that we try to do with the food is every child that's in a school gets the food. So if you have 5 siblings, there's 5 bags going home. It's not just 1 bag per family. And so that has helped.
When we look at food security or insecurity, where people run out of food before they have money to buy more, it's kind of a misconception that it's people who are living in poverty who aren't trying to work and take care of themselves, because a lot of times what we see is it is working families that are working 1, 2, 3 jobs sometimes, and their money is going to pay for their rent to make sure they're not homeless. It goes toward their transportation, whether that's a car or bus, tickets, things like that. When it comes to the point where they're trying to look in their refrigerator, look in their pantry, it's empty. And it isn't because they've wasted their money, it's because these other things in our community cost a lot, and they're working as hard as they can.
I lived in Northport, Florida, and there was just a few years out of my lifetime that I had that personal experience of going hungry on the weekends. That's honestly why I'm riding. So I wanted to make sure another kid doesn't go through what I had to go through.
For me, getting involved in the Pan Florida Challenge was kind of a no-brainer. I saw the ride go out there, and I loved to ride in the first place. And then I saw that it was to support, hungry kids. I think it's important when people find a way to support something that they don't just do it saying, I support this on Facebook, or I support this with 100 characters or less on Twitter. That they find a way to go out there and do that with the work of their own hands. They get out there and they beat the streets. And I think that's the most important part about rides like this that are giving back. It's not just somebody going out there saying, yeah, I'm going to write a couple sentences on the internet, and that's my way of showing support. This is much more tangible.
Oh my God, so many volunteers. They're all smiling, they're helpful, they're cheery. There's music cheering us on, there's food, water, good stops. It's all good.
The key to success is being a solid nonprofit that people can trust. And so we know that when we give them money, and it's significant money in this case, that they're managing it with the highest level of accreditation. I mean, they really are making sure the money goes where the money is intended to go. They're running the organization like a very, very well-oiled nonprofit business.
In a decade from now, we will have expected to not only have changed an awful lot of lives, but also to have lifted a lot of people up out of poverty.
If every child in Florida was fed, no local children would go hungry. Not one. We can solve this problem. Step up and become the hero to Florida's next generation of kids who need you. Great things are being done here. This is your chance of a lifetime. Take the Pan Florida Challenge. No local kids hungry. Not one.